All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday, October 25th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to need some Dramamine if anyone has any. It has been a down market across the day, and when you're looking for a move up or a bounce, most important thing you need to do is play tight defense, which we're doing, but we're not getting that bounce that we're looking for, that pop that we're expecting here heading into the end of October. So great to see all of us inside our live trading room. We had Luciano just before, Ryan. We had Brian just a moment ago as well. That rhymed. Had Mark and a few more of us just joining me inside our live trading room. And perhaps if you're joining us back on social media, you can see my screen. You can hear me, but you can't see my face. Just got a lot going on here in my home office, honestly. I told you I'm trying to fix the lighting around here. I got all sorts of plugs and cardboard boxes and shit around here, honestly. Get back my ugly mug tomorrow. But with that in mind, hey, Lian, Leanne, hey, trying to make another push back up right now. I said before, is holding underneath these highs pretty well. So you got to be careful heading into this time of the day regardless. But even after this, tiny little chart resistance here, you had an iceberg. What was it at 375? I guess they shed off some weight there at 375. But, this stock has been a huge tease for us. By huge, I mean, tell me. I'll tell you. I mean, it's like really bad tease. So finally, we had a nice breakout over 350 later on into the morning here before we started class. That's what led to a good move. Don't get me wrong. That was like the best move that we had on that squeeze up at the time. But again, yesterday it was choppy. It was really teasing us trying to break over that 350 level. So it did make a nice move up at first, but then obviously the wheels fell off. It came back down. And, for a stock that teased us like that, you normally don't tend to come back to it afterwards. So with it making that second win type of move here, I just don't want it to lure us back in. That's the issue on that. So don't get me wrong, it has a decent spread, good order size on level 3 and level 4. That's where it could lure us in. So actually, I'm not fully sold on putting this on our afternoon list just yet. Where's my pen? I had a nice trusty pen here. I have my notepad. There we go. Whew. Just panicking for a second. All right, LIAN. We'll put on our side list. We'll come back to this stock at least at the end of this meeting. Now, market's been pretty choppy for right now, unfortunately. I'm teaching coming up at 3:05 Eastern time. We got the phase 1 stock course finishing up. So I may have to think about a swing on the SPY or maybe just longer term play rather than a day trade. It's still the same with the day trade. It's tough trading option calls in the afternoon with time decay. Especially if you're doing the 0 days till expiration calls, just because obviously the price can fluctuate so wildly as it drops. So here before, I was looking for a strong bounce on the SPY. If you follow us on Twitter at CyberTradingU, you'll see a few posts that we had made as far as the SPY levels throughout this week. And a lot of lines on this chart. There were even more. I try to simplify the process here for us. So more or less, this stock, or the SPY rather, ended up holding under last week's close price at 421.19. Broke under it early at the open. I knew pretty early on at that point. I was like, I'm probably going to get a drop off at least up until 10:15, 10:30. So once this ended up beginning to bounce heading into class, I was looking for a nice move. Caught it at the time, but ended up failing to really get going up higher. So it held the close price from this past week, 421.19, that dashed green, perfectly as resistance and drop back down. So that's where I was kind of assuming, okay, we should likely get a move down towards 417.50-ish. I would love to see a higher low. Don't get me wrong. I'll have egg in my face, and I would love to if we get a higher low from there, but ended up continuing to drop off, right? And with that, well, just before, a lot of us inside our live trading room, Brian and Mark and Ryan, a few more of us as well, here we go, right? Well, I wanted a much better reaction. I was looking at, at this area all throughout this week, even from Sunday night. You follow us on Twitter, you post it right there. There's still time to see this squeeze up into the close. The damn issue is that I'm teaching class, and a lot of us are going to be in it. So, hey, if you trade the SPY calls, obviously this can make a nice push still. It's actually beginning to hold beautiful set of higher lows as we're talking, but it was whipsawing before. So if anything, I would look to do more of not a longer term, but set the expiration date out a little bit wider, probably for a few weeks at a time. Yeah, it'll be a little bit more expensive, and that's if you get the higher lows. This is pulling back down right now as I'm talking. So you'd really want to see it hold at least the lower end of this range. It was chipping under it at first. and I was looking for this to make a stronger move up with it closing above this on the 5-minute chart. I thought, okay, there's a chance for this to go. Well, we clearly haven't seen that big push. So right now, here we are, right back down to support. This needs to hold, in my opinion. Otherwise, and I'm not trying to spread fear, I'm just showing you my levels here if I still have it up. Yeah, I got 415, next psychological level. But then from there, I mean, you can go every whole number, but really psychological levels go every 5. So 415, but even lower if, this really continues to sink off heading into November, then perhaps we can go as low as 412 and change. But again, level by level, right? Let's hope that this holds. I'd love to see this hold. I'm just giving you the roadmap ahead. That's all. All right there. So we'll see what comes of this. Now, let's just go right from top to bottom at least. We do have a short amount of time here. We got to begin class at 3:05 Eastern. Want to make sure all of our students and myself have enough time to jump in. And if the SPY bounces, maybe I can have enough time to try and get a squeeze in there. But otherwise, though, let's start from the top here. ASPA, this looks exactly how I thought it was going to look at 8:30, 9 o'clock, whenever the hell it was in the morning. This was like one of those like low float expensive stocks. By expensive, I mean like not $1, right? Like, all those low float runners, pop and drops, normally like $1 to $5 or even less. This was like $20 here this morning in pre-market. So when you see that, normally it's like, the order book better be good. And it wasn't out the gate. You knew it. So yeah, this looks exactly how they typically look at this point. I don't even know if it's a pharma stock. Don't care to check. We're going to move forward. NVVE, and again with this, we'll move forward on this as well because we normally don't trade stocks below $1, let alone like 20 cents. But if it's not going to head on $1 like this GPAC is, we'll consider it. We'll keep it going here. Howl. What's up these like animal stocks? We had Wolf the other day. We got Howl right now. You got like a full moon out there tonight or what? With this, how it's Werewolf Therapeutics. So Howl is making a push up towards 250 and tried pushing above there earlier. Actually, it's just the issue on this trade is like the liquidity. It's terrible. Just for a cheap stock like this, you want better. So again, side list. We'll put it with the Lian trade, LIAN. We'll add Howl to our side list. I'm not going to howl for you. Trust me. All right. GPAC, this here, I mean, it's over $1 here, pushed over likely earlier today, mid-afternoon, 1 o'clock. It just hasn't broken higher, though, and it's just having a tough time at that. So the more times it knocks its head on $1 here in the VWAP, likely get a big break below support there. Seems like it's also a new IPO. Ooh, so it dropped down from like 4 and change. It went down to $1. It's going under and over it. There is like, in terms of that long-term, or so to say long-term graph, it's like, there actually is a shot to see this continue to push a little bit more of a slingshot. I'm going to pass on it here for right now, though. I'm going to put it on my side list. I'm not going to add it to the main list either way, but just so I don't forget about it tomorrow, maybe. Keep going. BTAI, trying to go back up. Again, damn, we got so many of these like trades that are like teasing us, trying to squeeze back up here and there. That doesn't really like look too good for us. So here's Sava. I mean, Sava looks incredible. Chuck, where are you at on Sava right now? He's calling out DAKT. Chuck, it's Sava. This thing's on fire. Oh my goodness, I'm late to the party on this, but one of our students here does normally really well on this, pushing up pretty nicely. It looks like on lighter volume. Spread's pretty big, but really strong push on Sava here. Filling the gap, as you could see on the daily chart. It's already filled the gap pretty much at this point. So is there room to see more? I guess we don't have any stocks on our main list yet, do we? So may as well add one to begin. I know, Chuck, that happens to the best of us, though. It's like there are times where I'll come back. It's like, oh, AMD's up like 5 points in the last 2 hours. Like, damn. All right. So, it's tough, though, when the market's dropping off and we got UVXY pushing up. Here's obviously, a ticker that we'll add to our watch list, an ETF. But with the market potentially squeezing lower, hopefully not. And, if that were to be the case, then this could be a good long. Chuck saying UVXY looks better. It does. It does. More volume, more liquid, right? So I definitely prefer UVXY over even Sava, but I gotta respect that move up though so far. I like that, and we're familiar with Sav at least today. We'll give it a little spotlight. Now this though I think could be up anyone's radar, anyone's alley. The WeWorks trade. So again, you never want to hold your breath waiting for a move up, because for a stock that has like short squeeze potential, I think they did a reverse stock split. Possible to see this make a squeeze up over time the more it does dump off. I mean, just in terms of valuations, it wasn't really $220 back then, but based off the reverse split, essentially you're seeing a stock that was valued at like 220, 230 a share, which is now at like $2 a share. Well, it has a little bit of recovery room to do, doesn't it? So you don't want to hold your breath waiting for that short squeeze move. You're going to blow up your account. But when you see it push up like this, hey, it's up 11%. Well, how much was like TPST up again? How much was the INVO yesterday or the day before? So why can't we see a lot more than even this? I really like this WeWorks trade. Definitely, this is like number one on our watch list here. It looks really good, cheap, good order book. Hey, we got one. Nice. Got a good one. All right. So if there's anything else looking good here on the way up, folks, just type it in the chat board. Let me know. A lot of time on the stick today. I actually got to refill up on water. How did I not fill? I failed to fill up on water before I started this meeting. About to take a sip. I was like, we got an empty cup. All right. So even furthermore, we'll try and be brief. Finish up here. Hop over to the loser side. So seeing if there's anything looking good. Obviously, the energy stocks taking a hit this morning once again. SPWR, Sunrun. I think this was off Enphase earnings, wasn't it? Or are they reporting tomorrow morning, maybe? I think Enphase EMPH reporting earnings tomorrow. That's even after the big drop from SEDG earnings last week. So, yeah, we knew going into this week, these energy companies would be really volatile at a minimum, meaning like up or down. Obviously, here, once again, another big drop on SPWR and the rest of them. So, I'm not as like jumpy towards them as a day trade here this afternoon. Just keep your eye on them tomorrow, especially with Enphase earnings. FSLR, another one, might I say. Fausto. There we go. All right. What else we got here, folks? Rich, very timely with that link in our chat board. Once again, folks, just make sure that you click the link for phase one. Finish up the phase one stock course. Going over a very important topic. Actually, I was asked earlier, what was like the most important class? Like I think they'd asked, or maybe they had said, in their opinion, a specific class was like one of the most important. To which I said it could be. But honestly, coming up this afternoon, journaling your trades. It's something that we tend to find to be a bit tedious at times, but we got to explain really not just how to do it for our new students, but for honestly everyone. Refresher, why it's so important, to go over the trials and tribulations of trading, your mistakes, and also your successes too. But definitely you got to learn before you could truly earn. And it's not just hearing me flap my gums here for 15, 20 minutes a time. It's not even the coaching sessions one-on-one. These classes are the most important part of what we offer here at Cyber Trading University. So even the journaling classes, as a returning student, longtime student, I would suggest for you to join me. All right. So with that, let's see if there's anything else looking good, at least on the loser side, for those that are not joining me, for those that are stubborn, perhaps. No, I'm kidding. If you want to trade the close, if you have not matched your day's pay yet and you feel like there's a good chance, then, and if you know how to journal and you're doing your homework later, then definitely I suggest try and make your day's pay, then watch the recording later. AFRM down 15%, took a huge hit today, right? I'm going to guess SoFi down big also. This thing was too slow, though. I saw this on some people's watch lists early this morning on Twitter, and I didn't comment on anything because you never want to like crap on anyone or spread negativity. But I'm like, I didn't see any like specific good news for SoFi like going into this morning. Did they report earnings this morning specifically? Because I didn't even have them on my calendar. I thought perhaps maybe a firm, but otherwise. Yeah, I had no news on this. So I saw this on some people's watch list. I'm like, this thing's the slowest thing ever. Unless if there's incredibly good news to where it can like pop in pre-market and make a more volatile run, get the Wall Street bet traders out there, all the social media people. Look at the orders on this thing. It's huge. They're huge. So it's going to be a slow trade, basically. That's where I say AFRM, at least if you're going to compare tomatoes to tomatoes, this is a little bit more bang for the buck, in my opinion, more volatile, obviously down more percentage-wise today. But, to me, it's like trading Mara versus CLSK. Mara is more volatile. It's more bang for the buck, even though CLSK is cheap. Luciano saying Google trying new support. Take a look. Oh, right off 125, Luciano. So how about this? Good call or a good segue. I can't talk much more, folks. We got class lined up in just about 15-20. So this will be pretty much one of the last few things we'll cover. Where do we see support? I mean, there's a reason why there is a line on my chart here for, to begin. But looking at level 4, where do we see support right now? And we have that dark red line, right? That's that 167,000 share buy order out there. So, we had big support at 130 heading into the pre-market, but that got smashed as the market dropped off. So obviously now we're at our next major level. Again, you want to focus every $5 for a more expensive ticker. So something like this, an AMD, a Tesla, whatever it may be, like your next level below this is 120, $5. So yeah, you got a big iceberg sitting there. So, just something to keep in mind. Obviously, coming off earnings, a lot of people, remaining to be focused on Google either way. So it only makes it more volatile with the earnings that came out. We're not going to keep it on our watch list, but if you do the options on it daily, or if you look to throughout the remainder of the week, I think it could be a good play, a good side list play for sure. All right. So, hey, folks, up, down, left, right. Let me know if there's anything else, though, missing that is looking good. I mean, this could smash below support and continue to drop. Don't get me wrong there. You could short, but I want to see if there's a nice runner like a WeWorks that we could work with there. Get it? Pun not really intended, but I caught myself. So let me know if there's anything else looking good. I'm going to just actually jump back to all the side list stocks I wrote down, like the Lian trade, just still kind of teasing us. Howell still kind of teasing us on thinner volume, so I'm probably going to pass on that there. GPAC, same deal. If it pops around 3 o'clock, 3:15, and Rich is there to call it out, then he will follow up on it. And this, this, if anything, look at this. It hasn't truly broken lower from like where it was at 11:30 in the morning. It's actually been trending back upwards pretty nicely, and it's on good volume. It has a good order book. So that is where I feel like this could lure me back in. But, with good reason. It's got to break a higher high, though. And you got to see, like, you'd prefer at least, you don't need to see this, but you'd prefer to see, like, a nice iceberg on the bid laddered up. So for the sake of saying this thing hasn't broken a lower low here, I'm going to actually add this BTAI out of all those side list stocks to the main list, be on the bottom. All right, so folks, you know where to find me. Inside our classroom, actually, coming up at 3:05 Eastern for all of our bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, all of our students, actually, here at Cyber Trading University. Now, if you're just a member here inside our live trading room and don't have access to our classes, then I would suggest for you to make sure that you contact your education advisor. They are the middleman or middlewoman between you and Fausto, you and myself. So any questions you have in relation to our education, just give a call to the office line number right there. I only post that inside the chat board because for all of us on social media, we want you to be inside our live trading room first just to experience this. Day trading is not for everybody. So you take a week-long trial inside our live trading room, see if this is for you, see if this is possible at least at first, and then go from there. But, hey, scan the QR code on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. If you're interested in joining us, just on the top left, it should be. There it is. And again, if you are not followed up to all of our social media streams, at least, whether you're inside our live trading room or on social, just catching us kind of a spur of the moment, perhaps here, just be a friend, tell a friend, subscribe right to @CyberTradingU. That's across all of our social media streams and platforms. We do after hours kind of posting as far as our thoughts and analysis of the market. So we look forward to seeing you there. I look forward to seeing you inside our live trading room. Hey, folks, I look forward to seeing you in class on top coming up in just about 15. I got to catch my breath, catch my water here too, refill. I'll talk to everybody soon.